Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. We're sat at our new ore layout and it's slowly loading. We're almost there in fact, and over in the distance we can just about see our coal train as well. These two will be heading off at roughly the same time, and once they leave then our steel mill is going to be back up to full capacity, its current full capacity anyway, of 400. I say back up to, we never actually met it, did we? So this new layout is going to make us a little more profit. Today, in fact, let's bring up the UI. Oh dear, what's that? We got a Flying Scotsman, guys. Oh, I got to pause it. Firstly, because we've got some money. Let's pay that off. Yeah, I shouldn't really be playing this and ignoring our money situation. But yes, we got the Flying Scotsman and a passenger plane, I believe that was. That might be good timing for our first passenger line. A little excessive, possibly. We'll have to see, because it'll be dependent on the top speed of our passenger wagons, on which loco we start with. But before we do any of that today, we're going to hook up the tools factory over here near Twickenham. And we're going to be delivering some tools into Twickenham, which will help them grow. So there we go. Our first of our two ore trains is off back to the mill on its new layout, which we're going to change again slightly to make sure that we can get our... Oh, pause it there. Make sure we can get our steel delivered to the tools factory. I'm going to pay this off so that we've got a bit of money we can take out and build our new line without worrying too much about how much we spend. There we go. It's good to see those moving again, and it should, once the figures settled down. Let's see what we can see only. Yeah, it should be around about 400. Now, to start with, while I would like to have a more realistic layout and double track, which we have here, then use one way where necessary. This early on, what I'm keen to do is we can triple track it up here and have this as a big yard area, and maybe put a depot on here in preparation for later, because eventually, oh, look at that money coming in. Eventually, these industries are all going to upgrade, and we're probably going to need more than just single trains running them. I don't know though, we might get away with it. The whole purpose of this, I don't know whether you can see at the moment, it's hard to envisage, but I'm slowly creating jigsaw pieces of a network that will soon all join into one in some bizarre fashion. Some of these will be branches and spurs. We are going to lean a little towards realism later on in the series once money isn't an issue, but we'll have to be deliberate on how we do it. The most efficient way is point to point. To try and get a real network running, automated, fully automated network, where our trains dance with each other, it's going to be tricky in hard mode, but I'm sort of willing to give it a go as a challenge we create. So that's what we're doing. And that's the big plan anyway. For now, however, we're going to be joining this up to meet the coal line. And we're going to have it double tracked, where eventually we may signal it up. I don't think it's required just yet. In fact, it would seem a little overkill for 3 trains. Let's pay some of this off. So yeah, we're going to go with method A, which would be single bi-directional tracks for each train. And then after that, there we go. I would like this train to head away from the station. I want it to unload everything. We're going to have quite a bit stored in here. We're ahead on the iron due to all of our issues early on. But we should be delivering soon. Yeah, there's a lot of slag coming out of here now. So that train's going to get underway. It's been sat there patiently. Although, I will say, It's been sat there patiently, and we've been paying only 40% of the maintenance while it's sat there. So not a bad thing. First, we need to figure out, where do we want this? Or should we take out money? Let's take out a big old chunk. There we go. Maximum loan for us, 30 million. Of that, we see 21.8 million of it. And we're going to sit up here. It was higher, wasn't it, up here? Yeah, it's kind of a gradual slope all the way up. We're at about 34 meters. If we go down here, we might be able to lower it a touch and take out at least some of the grade down here. We probably start having a grade just after it, but that gives it a bit of time to get some speed up and some momentum to make the final climb up here. We will be full of steel as well. Yeah, let's see if we can drop this. Not by a lot like we've got in some places. Shall we say there? That's not too bad, is it? That's acceptable. Yeah, let's go with whatever that is. 24 meters. There we go. I don't know what we're actually at the coal mine. So we'll take a look. Are we aiming roughly in the right place there, Grand? Yes. I would like to just kind of follow that up, and then we'll join in double track here. And that should be fine, shouldn't it? Well, it's only 15 meters there. It's not too bad. It's not a real steep climb. Only a short station as well. I don't feel like a big old station. We don't need it high speed either. There is a use for high speed beyond the speed limits. It makes your curves a little quicker. So even if you don't have trains that meet the new line speed, the curves will be a little quicker. So we've unlocked all of the roads now for the rest of the playthrough. We do have one-way streets now. That's lovely to see. And we've got our country roads out here. Probably as an access road, we just go with the standard one there. And we'll get it on curvy so we can get up this hill without it looking too ridiculous. There we go. That's actually quite pleasant, isn't it? We haven't got far to go down at all. And yeah, we can make that look nice. We're going to have to either truck or train into Twickenham. Now, I'm thinking truck will do us just fine. What is Twickenham going to be looking at? Yeah, it's only 51. A train's going to be absolutely overkill for delivery there. I mean, we could do it. It would be fine. It probably wouldn't make us the most amount of money. It would be something like we've got up there. Well, the distance, it's quite far, isn't it? Maybe we'll aim for a train. Aim for a train, because we could share platforms here. Or not share platforms, we could share the station. Well, yeah, we could share a platform, couldn't we? Depends how many trains we have running from here. How far is it? We'd have to probably go somewhere up here. It's only 1,600 meters. 1.6 kilometers. It's not far, is it? No. Unlike, say, for instance, up to Luggershall there, if we wanted to take it that way, this is quite the distance. Would link into the station here, but just a rough idea. Yeah, that's over 2,000 meters, 2.2 kilometers. And then some, depending where we drop it off. So yeah, that's doable as a train. So truck this way, train that way, mix it up a bit. Right, so we've got a rough idea what we're doing. Trucks from here. Let's link this train up and get it running. And yeah, that's not a bad grade, is it, up to there? Let's turn the catenary off. We're not going to be running electrics just yet. Maybe. We might. Are you heading down? Yeah, you're starting to head down there. That's lovely. Right, just go with something like that. We might get a bit of a bow in our track. You can use Shift M and N to take the bow out if we really need to. I think if we just run with the terrain here, it shouldn't be too bad. We're going to go in at that angle. That's pleasant, isn't it? Yeah, we're really starting to link things together now, aren't we? Our network. We're going to head all the way along. It shouldn't need a very long train to start with. It'll be longer than this one because we've definitely got a good distance to run from our steel mill here up to our tools factory there. Right, now we need to sort out this station. It's going to accept another train. And although I don't technically need to delete this, what I want to do is get this coal train, because it's lagging behind anyway, shifted up the line. And we're going to swap where this one is the one that sits next to our iron track there. So that's going all the way up the line. Now we can leave it alone. A little bit cheaty perhaps, but I would like to get this in. So if we can shove him up the track there, that would be lovely. We just about miss our quarry, which is wonderful, because that's some... Oh yeah, I like that. That's some lovely scenery that we get to see once we've got this up and running. Right, and then we'll bring this up to there, double tracked for the steel and the coal. Triple tracked, technically, because we've got our iron mine joining us. Or our iron line, I should say. The iron mine staying where it is. But the track itself is joining us. Now, there is an option we could have taken here. We could have turned this into a double one-way system and crossed over. We will get around to that, I think. Eventually, we're just going to have the funds to do things like that look a little better. Right. Now, this is going to become the steel platform. The new one we build is going to be the new coal platform. So we'll get you in. Now, this doesn't need to be that long on this side. I'm just going to have it as a little drop-off point, like that. Because this one doesn't store anything. We just drop off here. The one we share here, we have no choice. This has to be the longer one. And that's fine by me. Right, and we're just going double track all the way up. Is it 75? Yes, it is. I mean, none of our trains can go up to 75 yet, because we don't have the wagons for it. But that's nice, isn't it? Yes. Are you on the right track? Like, quite literally. Are you on the right track? You are. Perfect. Right. Let's have a depot in here, shall we? So, you're going up that way. And we'll keep you flat. Why not? And then we'll sit a depot just at the side of the track here. Oh, that's perfect. I fluked that a little bit. There we go. Is that lovely? Yeah, we could do some painting there, couldn't we, later on? And we're going to need a crossover. We'll probably keep the crossovers in as well. And this is for depot entry only, so it doesn't need to be quick. Yeah, 35 will do, wouldn't it? That's more than enough. I'm going to not signal, because we're only bringing the steel train out to add it onto this line. Eventually, we're going to get it all signaled up. I feel like this could be a nice little busy area. Maybe some sort of a hub would be nice eventually. Are we in the middle of the map here? Not really. I guess we could have a north and a south and a mid, or then pass between them. I would like to explore hubs as a viable means for transporting. Given our experiments early on with the extra leg at Loughton, this extra leg here taking the fuel, it should be doable. Where we make extra money on an extra leg, we can afford to then lean towards realism. Okay, let's get us a new lineup. We're going from here to there. So it's called Twickenham Sidings at the moment, which is going to be Twickenham. That'll do, wouldn't it? Twickenham Tools. And ooh, what colour? Like a sky blue. I like the look of that. And this is Twickenham Steel Freight. Lovely. P1 would that be now? Modify this. Terminals. What have we got? P1's on that side. That's currently the ore, so we need our coal on 3. Let's just make sure our lines are doing what they need to do. That looks lovely, doesn't it? I like that colour combination. And you're heading off that way, continuing up there. I mean, we could join in, have one-way tracks here. at some point. For now, though, this seems like the best way to do it and just get things up and running. Let's get back on here and manage the line. I'd like to make sure we only pick up steel for whatever reason. It could pick up something else. Who knows? But if you do it, then it can't. I mean, it's unlikely it's going to pick up the wrong thing. But I believe I said that when I initially set this line up and it went haywire. But in this instance, flatbeds can only pick up... It's not going to pick up coal, is it? Because that would be pointless. Anyway, what are you doing, Grand? Yeah, unloading steel. Did I choose steel here? I was waffling and wasn't really paying attention. There you go. Right, and we got wait till fall. Lovely. Let's get us a... I guess we don't need anything too adventurous here. The reason I'm doing this now is I would like this to trigger its production down here. It's already outputting slag, but I would like it to immediately start outputting our steel as well. This has to be the loco of choice. We're not going with that because it costs us too much in the fact that it doesn't meet 50 miles an hour. This is just absolute overkill. We don't need that at all. We're only going to be starting with a small setup. Should we colour it sky blue as well to match the line? That'll mean its little belly is blue. That's not what you call it. Anyway, that. Dear oh dear. Cargo. I'm going to take the colour off for these though. We'll keep these default colour for now. We may colour them later. Maybe the ones we add like we have been doing. How many should we stick on here? 5, 6? 6. It's a long distance, isn't it? So maybe 8 would be okay. I mean, we can afford it. It doesn't cost as much at all, does it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, we've got 8. 64 capacity. We'll see what sort of line rate that gives us. We only need 100, don't we? So we don't need much at all. Right, you go and park yourself in there. We can hit play, finally. We haven't made a delivery at the tool, so we don't need to worry about connecting it to Twickenham just yet. Ooh. Although, we should... Yeah, while we've got money, otherwise... It'd be great to watch you come out. Let's just take a look at your blue belly. Marvellous. It looks like a toy train. It's very colourful. I like it though. Pleasant colour combination. Yes. Yeah, before we do anything, should we finish up the whole thing like we did over here? And we've got this connection. I will show you that once our train makes its first journey. We haven't actually progressed time too much. Now, I've got to get my bearings. It's interesting how close, actually, that the iron mine is to Twickenham, given we now travel past it and then back via truck into town. But at the same time, we're looking at our first passenger train. So we're going to prep Twickenham while it's small, or smallish, with widened roads. Now, I just noticed we have country roads selected. I have made this mistake many a time, so be careful when you're upgrading, because if we upgrade with this one, notice the costs. It's because it's going to bulldoze everything. Our country roads don't have a place for houses to build, so make sure we've got cities selected, and there we go. It's not changed the price too much, and it still removes them, but some will be moved, so we get to save at least some. So we're going to get the backbone for Twickenham ready for tramland, or metros as I like to call them. We'll hold shift there to make sure we don't go all the way around. We're going to do a sort of zigzag through, ending down here. I've not decided what we're doing yet on a whole passenger network. I have a sort of plan. Sort of plan is better than a nothing plan. Well, no plan, I should say. That was a very strange way to say all of that. Alright, it didn't cost as much. We've still got 10 million in the bank. We might be able to get our trams up. I don't know what you're doing here, AI. This is the worst bit of road building I've ever seen. Just don't do that. Okay, so now we've got our backbone in, ready for our trams. And we have them in up there at Henley as well. Now we need to figure out where we're going to drop off our tools, don't we? So let's just get the layer on. It's a little bit mixed up. Some residential blended in. Well, I don't mind industry and commerce together. Not ideal, but we've got like residential buildings in between. It's fine though. I'd rather cheese off the residents, to be fair, and hopefully they just move. Because these guys make us money. Our residents will eventually make us money, but I'm not going to care too much if they complain. It will slow the Twickenham's growth a little bit, but we've got the mods installed that which one is it? Natural town growth, which makes it a little bit easier, or a lot a bit easier, to continue town growth, even with negative effects. So where do we want to drop this off? Somewhere where we're going to reach all that. We'll take this layer off. It's not my favourite way to judge catchment areas or reach for a stop. It's an absolute mess. This is much neater. And that gets about everywhere, doesn't it? Hopefully they build some more stuff around here. I'm half tempted to help them out with some of their streets. We do still have 10 million. The rest of what we need to buy, I'm going to keep that flat, is trucks and trams. They don't cost the most. Whether we get trams in, I like that. That works for me. Yeah, it's unnecessarily going up. But if we go downtown, which is what it'll eventually be, not at the moment, this gives it character, doesn't it? The fact that it's not perfectly flat going through the centre of town. I like this. Yeah, it gives it a bit more character. And closer to real life. I mean, it's flat in places and then it's up and down. It's actually really pleasant. We'll probably get rid of some of these lights as well, especially anything that's a back street. You don't need lights on all of those. We can worry about that once these are big enough to care about traffic. They won't be for the longest time. Okay, so we need a delivery, don't we? And it's going to be via... Can we play it now? No, set up your infrastructure and pay off your loan. We do want this now. We're going with we'll go with the fastest road. We'll get it set up for the faster trucks later on. I do like it scooting around the back here. We might even be able to make it a bridge later on. We're just going to follow the terrain with this one and head fairly direct, I would say. It certainly warrants it. It's our infrastructure we're building. I don't think we need to worry too much with trucks and stuff, especially all the way downhill. Yeah, it's pretty much downhill. That's a nice little slope down there. We'll keep some of the curving. What we've got to ask ourselves now is which road do we head in? I think this one is the better choice. We could always come out on this one. So we'll delete these roads back. We will keep curving, even though the best option would be to go very straight and just draw a straight line. I'm starting to lean towards a bit of realism now, although we're about to plough through a forest, which would be really expensive. But we're doing that. That bit we can do. There we go. I like that. That works. Let's reconnect this up. It'll just be a little side road. A little B road, perhaps. And, yeah, we'll help you upgrade this. Let's get some town road going there. I see what you did there, game, because that's a little bit off compared to this. Yes. Right. I don't want to... Yeah, do you know what? Let's keep it on skew width a little bit. In fact, we can help them out here. Let's just redo that. Nice and flat. We can have some flat sections where we build them, obviously. Where it makes sense, right? But we'll have that join in something like that. Yeah. I like it. And this will be... Oh, the plane. I had a moment, guys. I wasn't expecting a plane to the face. Right, we can take it off for this. We will be empty on the way back. And we're going to avoid... Oh, yeah, you got it on straight. We'll avoid a crossroads. We'll go something like that. This will be our main road heading in town. I like this. They may change this to a a city road, but I really don't mind about that. I'd rather not pay the maintenance by owning the roads. Since the last update, I believe, it's really easy to own roads. You can even use the tools for these little padlocks. You can claim the roads and own them, but you will have to pay maintenance on them. So be careful when you're doing that. These traffic lights, we can turn these on and off where we feel they're not needed, such as a T-junction doesn't really require it. These don't really need it either, nor does that. That definitely doesn't. There we go. We'll get rid of them like that. That's pleasant. Don't need a light all the way. These two can be. It's a crossroads, isn't it? Two crossroads. They can have lights. These don't need them. Got a good run up there. Perfect. Right, so we've got that in. Now we need this end. We'll have to get us a truck stop in. Since we're going to be parking a lot up here, I think, to start with, it doesn't matter how we put this in. We don't need two platforms, though. I will go with a big platform. Yeah, I think sitting in there and touching that would be... There we go. That's about perfect, isn't it? Oh, look at that. It almost looks like we go in this little side entrance here. Could we just paint it then? Let's get some gravel. That gravel I like, I think. Let's get that right down. Can we do that? That's pleasant. Yeah, it looks like we drive up and down there. A little bit of smoothing. Oh, official episode. Why not? Let's do it. There we go. Unnecessary. It is necessary. There we go. If you hold shift, you can paint over them if you really want. Get back to paint. If you hold shift down, you can just paint over like that. I think I've shown you before, but if I haven't, I have now. We could get a matching tarmac-y stuff. Possibly. I like that we've got it different here. Like we've just sort of filled it in. Perfect. Anyway, stop beautifying. Get it down to Twickenham. And then we've got tools prepared. Oh, look, it's using our layout. Thank you. And we'll have this sky blue. And Twickenham. Tool delivery. Lovely. Oh, but you've gone. It's alright. You're down here. If we could see what we could see, that'll be easier. And then we'll only work with what we're working with. Right. Load full. Any tools. You need tools. We'll have to probably put some more brick trucks on up the other end. Some combats. Tools. Yes. And you'll be delivering. Tools. Lovely. Right. Where are we going to put our garage for our trucks? I would say just here looks lovely and would act as a little bit of scenery. Yes, that sort of works for me. Oh, don't terraform. We're a bit low on cash. We have this set though, don't we? So buy vehicles. All we need is one truck. They're only a little shy of 100,000 there. And we'll colour you sky blue. And then we can just duplicate this one. And we'll stick you onto the tool delivery line. Now we've got that active, and we'll start to deliver our tools to Twickenham. And we'll hit play. We've disconnected here. It's not too bad though. We can probably have some sort of access road go across the two, as it's only our freight lines. And pause it. Let's pay off all of this. Don't need all of that loan sitting there, do we? That's unnecessary interest. There we go. How much did we end up taking? Well, 20.5 million. Right. Yes, we helped our coal train a little down the line. Although it's still going to have to wait a little bit. How much do you carry? 192. Nah, that shouldn't take as long. Meanwhile, you should be becoming almost balanced now. As you just flip and leave. Excellent. Yes, you're at 407, which is... that'll do. Right then, do we have steel production underway? Have I messed up anything? No, there we go. Our steel is being produced. Our slag is on its way. There we go. That's going to deliver up there. We won't know what the line rate for that is just yet. It says 95 there. We need it at 100. We'll definitely not know the line rate here. as we're going to have to wait for our first load. But what we are now is prepared to have our first passenger service, which we'll work on, I think, next time out. We've got a few things to keep an eye on with this setup. Make sure we're delivering. And, oh, we could upgrade these roads, perhaps. Why not? No, we can't. We're broke. Which is a little bit unfortunate, because you're going to start chucking out bricks here at 2 for 1. Bargain. I do like these, though, in red. How do they look in blue? Train's a little way off. Where are you? How do you look in blue? Oh, pay that off. There we go. We will take loans out where necessary to get trucks moving. They do look alright in blue, don't they? We'll probably get new trucks soon as well. And possibly new trams. We time it right. Our cities are busy upgrading, so we might see a few stutters here and there. There we go. Our coal train is on its way. What do we got? Line rates there. 401, lovely. 96. It's guesstimating on our steel. How are you doing on your steel? It's very busy now, isn't it? You're almost done. We're almost taking our first delivery. We'll have to adjust that and make sure we're meeting 100. Which is what our consumers should be both requiring. Yes, our Combat's factory is 100 and our tools factory is 100. But look at that money. We're just getting loads of money. Look at that. That was a fortune. We're down to 12 million on our loan. I would imagine our aircraft, which we'll take a look at shortly, are helping there. Are you helping? I don't know. Should we have a quick look at the line? We'll go back and see how. Yes, you're not going to meet the demand. Finances. That's huge. That's massive. 5.2 million. Expenses 1.2. That's a profit margin, isn't it? Isn't that wonderful? Dear oh dear. That's absolutely huge. Yeah, and as that filters round, that's going to be... Oh, yes. That's our payday, isn't it? Just there. We could throw another one on, I guess, if we get some money. We're going to struggle to meet that demand, though, let's face it. We'll need another truck on here as well. We're going to need trucks everywhere at this rate. And we'll need to upgrade our roads as well. Not while we're broke. It's not really worth taking out a loan to upgrade our streets or roads just yet. Now that we've paid it off. As these trucks can't meet the speed anyway. They're quite happy doing that. Little run there. There goes one of our trucks spinning around. How much are these making anyway? Steady. Steady. You're only talking thousands in these, which is why I don't worry too much about public transport for passengers making a loss, because you're talking thousands versus millions on freight lines and trains, passenger trains. So yes, a couple of thousand here and there losses on our tram networks or our bus networks really doesn't matter. Where's our steel train? Are you off? You are off. There we go. We're making our first delivery of steel. We're going to have to see how that does. We'll probably take a ride back on this one, guys. What do you reckon? I think that's the way to end this, isn't it? Yeah, we'll ride back after we've dropped off our steel. And we'll just want to keep an eye on everything. We're making constant delivery now. Yeah, by the time he returns, we've got stuff waiting for us on the platform. This is where we can slightly adjust if not necessary. We'll see if that drops once it's got running fully. We do need another truck up here. So, we've just hit a big old maintenance payday there. I don't know who we're paying, but they've just made a fortune. We do have the big train coming back here. We could stick something on the back of this, couldn't we? Maybe the little tank engine, possibly. Oh, we've got another payday coming in there. What about over here? Oh, you're heading that way, so not there. We do have our coal train here, heading back for a payday. What about on these? We've got our iron train on the way back, our coal trains returning. We will get a payout for our steel. We're almost there now. I'll be interested to see how much we earn on that. Our next income tick should coincide with this, so we'll stick a few trucks on, then I'll save it, and then we'll get on board that one and ride back. It should be pretty nippy on the way back. Those paydays for the maintenance companies are pretty hefty. They're coming out of our pocket. But our paydays are equally, no, more hefty. Heftier. Yeah, how much do you get makers? That's 795k. It's only doing a line rate of what, 100? Yeah, it should be around about 100. Where are you? Just there, 96, 103 it's guesstimating. Let's pause it there. 473 in the bank. You're going to start to deliver, so there are about 100k. So if we just stick a couple of these on. 1, 2. There we go. Can we stick a couple over here? Of course we can if you do the math grand. That's you. Manage vehicle. Were you empty and heading to? Or are you heading? No, you're heading back. That's fine. Oh, I thought it just heading there empty. I would have done something wrong. Couple more on there. Right, that will get us started. Means we won't lose out on too much. Okay, that's starting to happen. You'll see we can technically link to this line if we wanted to and continue that off whichever way we wanted. We could have like a big old freight network running through the middle of these towns. Yeah, there's lots of options available to us. Our passenger line, if you're interested, is going to scoot round up there. It's going to be quite scenic. I will try and avoid going too straight because it'll be nice to have a bit of scenery, even if it's not the most efficient. We've got plenty of steel waiting for us, so I'll save it and we'll get on board here. Okay guys, we're on board our steel train heading back. We can just see a plane up there in the top middle top middle top left. You can barely see it in the clouds, but it is up there. It looks great. And yeah, we're on the way back to pick up some more steel that we saw was already waiting for us. Big chain that's going on, and there's a plane returning as well. I don't know whether you can pick that up on YouTube's compression, but believe me, they are up there somewhere. Little pixels in the sky, loads of them. Next time out then, Twickenham and Henley passenger service, and we're going to do it perfectly-ish. I'll show you how to get those started and make sure that you make money and don't lose too much, because they take a little while to get going. But for now, we're helping them both grow, aren't we? Combats to one, tools to the other. We'll get these upgrading. It's a massive chain that we've got going here, all the way from the ore mines that we just passed, as well as the steel factory. Then we've got a combats factory, and then a tools factory, all part of the same thing, which is great. And I love this. We're overtaking our coal train because it's only just really pulled away from the station and takes a bit of time to get going, bit of distance. Anyway, guys, I'll leave you with the rest of this journey, and until next time, take care.